Hello everybody, and welcome back to Moonlight Castle. We are here with some buddies of ours. We are trying to figure out what we're gonna do for tonight. You know, we're going on our trip. It's gonna be exciting, but we're like still putting together the plans, right? Things still need to fall into place. So you know, let's figure out all what Joelle is gonna be doing. Russell handed us our breakfast. Ah, homemade food, my beloved. Oh, the smell of toasted bread. I want to eat this again tomorrow. I can't get enough of it. Glad to be of service. I gave a satisfied exhale now that my belly was full. That's the kind of sound I like to hear. Oh my god. Ryan blushes, and I turned my back on him. I know exactly what was going on, though, through his mind, and I wanted no part of this. Don't say another word. Thank you for the food. You better hurry. I wasn't in the mood for that. Imagine having to rush in the middle of digesting after such a good meal. Aw, shit, food coma was hitting me hard. I know. We'll get going soon. Tired? I can carry you back to my car. I imagined that scene in my head and jumped up from my chair. He would cradle me like a baby. You're crazy! You aren't that heavy. I've carried groceries bigger than you. That's not the issue here. I couldn't believe I was being compared to groceries. I appreciate the thought, but I can walk on my own. Thanks. Ryan tilted his head, seemingly confused. Blake's words are still fresh in my mind. These misleading situations needed to stop. Ryan had agreed, right? Ryan, can I talk to you for a moment, in private, if possible? The bear turned to Russell, a concerned look on his face. I'll walk then. Don't worry about me. Oh, sure, same place? I nodded back and swiftly left the place. I couldn't get over how convenient the whole thing was. But there was no way for Russell to know, right? He had also heard Ryan's answer to Blake's question. Even though Ryan sometimes gets a bit too intimate, Russell should have known that we were just close friends. You are close friends, but I think anyone knows. Anyone knows best friend syndrome. With the character whose primary color is blue, right? This needed to stop. It was too dangerous for me to afford a relationship. I didn't want to lose what I worked so hard to get. All because I liked the wrong gender. Enough of this. It wouldn't happen. I wouldn't let it happen. And this trip was going to prove it. My last selfish request before fully committing to this this life. I walked up to my seat and waited for class to begin. Maybe studying was harder because I was doing most of the work alone instead of having a friend on the same career path as me. But nobody was. Well, except for Liam. I'd never really asked, though. He always looked like he didn't care about it. I checked behind me, the usual seat in the corner, but he wasn't there. What about the trip? I thought we'd meet up and talk about tonight, so I assumed he wouldn't skip the lecture today. Liam, where are you? The lecture is about to start. My text went through, but it wasn't read. I thought about calling him, however. I gave up on the idea as soon as I saw the professor walk in. Whatever. I opened my notebook and focused on the lesson. Time passed and the bell rings was heard throughout the corridor. Your college has a bell? Odd, but okay. I don't know why that caught me, but my college didn't have that. We were just kind of like the professor would dismiss class, or you could just leave. Teachers just were like, it's your time, not mine. If you want to leave in the middle of the lecture, you leave in the middle of the lecture, right? Have fun, kids. I checked again. Liam had definitely skipped. I unlocked my phone, and my text was also left unread. Should I have asked the others about this? I scrolled through my friends list, and my choice rested between Dylan and Patrice. But I felt more confident with Dylan. No! The Tigor! If only the crocodile actually answered his messages. Might as well check the library. It wasn't so far from where I was right now. Our college had a massive library that housed an array of all sorts of books. I spent a lot of time here browsing material to use in my thesis, but my visits were never out of pleasure. Personally, I had enough of texts. That's what it says. Classes alone already had too much information, so I never considered picking up a bit of a reading habit. I came here hoping to find Dylan because, looking back on our interactions, forcing me to keep his passion for books a secret meant that this must have been a place he visited often. Then how is it a secret? I feel like he would go here not very often if he wanted it to be a secret, right? Very seldom comes here, right? But he'd probably be somewhere scheduled in a corner, secluded in a corner, where nobody would see him. Man, what nice libraries. You know, I haven't been to the library in my town. Maybe I should do that. The town I live in right now, I don't know. A library? I got the internet. The library extended across 2 floors. I did an extra round of workout. Okay, ascending another set of stairs. The second section held light novels, poems, and all sorts of fun stuff that I didn't care about. The floor was unfamiliar territory, but finding those secluded areas shouldn't be too difficult. There he was, sitting at a small table with a book in his hand. I noticed a grin on his face as he shuffled through the pages, completely absorbed in his reading. Scared of both approaching him and being spotted, I ran behind a bookshelf. No! Joel, come on! You gotta... You can't be frightened, just walk up and ask about him. I mean, I'd be the person to, walk up and, try to quickly take the book out of his hands from behind. That's me. After coming this far, I was getting cold feet. Oh, the hat go on. Hat. Just hat equipped. I held down my hat as I thought about the conversation starter, but I just couldn't come up with anything. I began to question if I should be here at all. It would have been easier to message Patrice instead. My heart started to race. I hated how I felt like some kind of criminal, unnecessarily complicating things. I took a deep breath to recollect myself. I didn't come all this way here just to turn back. Putting my fear and anxiety aside, I marched forward and approached him. I sat at the table and remained silent, waiting for him to notice me. Oh my god. Joel, speak up. Be extroverted. Please. Thinking I shouldn't interrupt his reading, I decided to let him be the one to initiate the interaction. Dylan gave me a brief glance, only to raise the book to hide me from his sight. He refused to acknowledge my presence at the table. I unlocked my phone and started browsing the internet to kill time. I wasn't going to leave until he talked to me first! Who does this? If you need to talk to someone, just talk to him. Maybe I'm too extroverted for this. No. Am I the problem, guys? If you were sitting there calmly reading a book, would you want someone like me to walk up behind you, reach over, grab the book you were reading, put my arm on your head and rest on your lean forward on it while we're starting to read the book myself? Yeah, I did that to someone in college. Am I a menace? Am I the problem? I'd catch him occasionally staring at me briefly before he'd turn back to his book. Oh, we haven't seen one of these with the Crocker Gator, did we? Okay.
Why are you here?
I wanted to talk to you.
Leave.
Okay. I went back. He went back to his book. I felt like I made no progress at all. My patience was running low. I needed to find the strength to push me a bit more. If you just hear me out, I could leave faster. Wouldn't that be better for you? After the moment of silence, he moved the book slightly to the right.
Did you tell anyone?
About what? He gave me an eye-piercing stare, waiting for me to get the hint. No, I didn't.
You'd better not. I have a reputation to maintain.
I raised a brow. Reading was nothing to be ashamed of. But this was Dylan's logic, after all. What's wrong with liking reading? It was, after all, just a hobby.
Fuck off. I don't like reading. I hate it.
Someone who hates reading doesn't smile the way you do. He chucked away the book, lit, one of its edges twisting upon hitting the floor.
This is a fucking assignment a professor forced me to go through, okay? So yes, I hate it.
He was totally lying, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt anyway. Sure, whatever you say. He grumbled in response, probably cursing me for not believing him or something. The book was lying face down, in defense mode. Its pages bent and folded onto itself. I stood up and grabbed it off the floor. Look what you've done. This book did nothing to you. It was printed. A glimpse of regret flashes in his eyes.
Reading books is a girly hobby.
Dylan watches me as I try to fix it. And you believe that? Doesn't that sound stupid to you? I closed the book and handed it back to him.
It doesn't matter.
He angrily swipes it out of my paws.
Men have better things to do than reading.
The way this conversation was heading reminded me of the day before. Some things he struggled to explain, but it was there. Just barely out of reach. Like?
You don't need to know.
But I do want to know. I can't understand you if I don't.
Don't waste your time. I know what kind of person you are.
I was just trying to be nice. He wants me to be petty. Fine. I'll give him both. What can you teach me?
What are you talking about?
You said you'd teach me how to fight. He paused. That sounded familiar to him.
Fuck. I really did.
A groan followed, and I smiled. You sure did.
Consider it a payment for your notes.
Dylan returned my notebook, which was surprisingly still in good condition after seeing him throw the book across the room earlier. I thought that my notebook, was a goner. Is it okay if I text you? Dylan grunted in annoyance.
Just do what you want. Anything else? Or are you done?
One more thing, actually. I need your help to find Liam.
Why should I care? Why are you asking me?
Because you seem to be the closest one to him and possibly the only person that knows who he is, where he is. Dylan gave a loud, petulant laugh. A laugh that wasn't just mocking Liam. I saw shelter in my apple. Okay. He grinned alone, was judging me and my choices. Was my assumption wrong? Just the thought of going through so much trouble for no reason was killing me.
That's kinda depressing. I'm his closest friend. I see him as a walking wallet.
He didn't come to class, and I haven't heard from him since yesterday. He did mention something about an appointment, though. His attitude changed. But I said must have rung a bell.
I still need that guy.
Look, money's money, I get it. Dylan got up from his seat and gathered his things. So, you do know something. I watched him circle around the table and leave.
Don't get your hopes up.
I stood up and followed him. I thought you'd worry about Liam. Aren't you guys friends? He laughed in response.
Not at all.
The crocodile suddenly stopped in his tracks to turn back and glare.
And don't fucking associate me with him.
Then he scoffed and resumed walking.
Friends. Bunch of garbage.
Had I been reading too much into it? Dylan gathered his things and signaled me to move along.
You helped me, so I'll help you this one time. After that, get lost.
What about training? He grunted in response.
Nothing else.
He quickly deflated. Okay. I felt a bit demotivated. You can reach it. Oh, sorry.
You can reach out anytime you want, and I'll make space.
There was no coming back from this. I achieved nothing and only added more chores. That's good to hear.
I won't go easy on you.
That's not good to hear. Dylan grinned. I thought that maybe things would still improve. Or he'd break me for... Okay. That was also a possibility. Okay, Joel. Bench. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a Kamen Rider Blade fan. So you know us and benches, you know. We entered the school's courtyard, a small open area placed behind the cafeteria. It offered many students other resting place between working hours. Before I could say anything, Dylan walked toward an old shed.
Found the bitch you were looking for.
I followed in the direction Dylan's muzzle was pointed at, and there he was. There's the lynx. There's the walking Pokeball. Hiding next to the shack, in a narrow space close to the wall. He laid on the grass, fiddling with a large bag. He skipped class and stayed on campus? What is this? Honestly, very Blake-like behavior. At least my hunch had been spot on. Weird. Liam? Not the strangest thing he's done. This shouldn't have surprised me. He stopped, but he was what he was doing and zipping the bag before I could see its contents.
Oh, what a surprise. You know, I didn't expect to meet you here.
Dylan showed me the way.
I don't get why he would do that, but sure he did. But he sure did.
What are you doing?
Preparing for tonight's exploration.
Oh. I forgot about that part. And at this point, the others might have forgotten about it as well. He forced a smile, but I could sense a veiled loneliness that surrounded him. It was a feeling eerily similar to mine, that nobody was capable of understanding. Liam himself was the only one who could.
Sorry for ghosting you earlier. Things got busy at home. I had to prioritize tonight's trip, so I went packing instead.
I could feel the distance between us growing. He was digging himself deeper and didn't know how to stop. No one bothered to pull him out, because it was just easier to watch him bury himself alive. Is everything all right? Liam froze, surprised to hear that. A hint of relief brought forward a genuine smile on his face.
Yeah.
It was easier trying not to change.
Were you that worried about me?
It was easier to look the other way. Of course not! It was easier to do what we were told.
It's almost time for lunch, isn't it?
The lynx walked past me and, as I turned to follow, noticed Dylan's absence.
Let's sit down. Been standing here for a while, and I could use a chair right now.
I didn't get a chance to thank Dylan for helping. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have found him.
So, how's it going? You know, hanging out with everyone.
It was fun. Everyone's looking forward to tonight's trip.
I'm glad to hear you're taking your job seriously.
This isn't a job. Stop talking like that. I would have done the same regardless of your request.
Really? I should have known.
I knew exactly what he meant by that, and it pissed me off. The ladies opened the door to the canteen and held it for me.
Be thankful. I didn't do this for everyone. Oh, I don't do this for everyone.
We looked around from the table for a big enough table for... We have unfinished business. I hope you didn't forget.
I'm supposed to be optional, remember? I'm not a requirement.
He was trying to weasel his way out. I could see it written all over his face. This is the perfect opportunity for you and me to get to know Clyde better.
I'm sure my presence is completely unnecessary. I wouldn't want to take the spotlight away from you.
He grabbed his bag and aimed for the door. Hold that thought.
I wasn't thinking at all, really.
I stepped forward and blocked the path. Then I'll do that for you. Come. Our usual table was unavailable, so I grabbed his hand and walked him to it.
Daring today, aren't we?
At this point, my mind made the connection.
Hand-holding in a place like this. Talk about being inappropriate.
Wait, I didn't mean it like that. My mind might have disagreed, but my body didn't.
What do you mind? I'm trying to eat here. No gay shit at the table.
With a burger in his hand, Dylan shot us a glare as soon as we entered his view. I want a burger. I like burgers. There's nothing gay here. Liam tapped me on the shoulder.
Strange. I totally felt the sexual tension back there.
He knew that wasn't true, but Dylan's expression told me everything I needed to know. Tell Dylan right now that you're lying. I could hear him chuckling.
Now I understand why you were so insistent on hanging out with me. I didn't know you had a crush on me.
I don't have a crush on anyone.
My buddy Joel can confess his love to me whenever he's ready.
Liam, stop bullying Joel. He's only allowed to love me. I sense a scuffle next to me. Liam complained. Ryan yelled, and then silence. Hey, you okay? Let me help. Ryan gently pulled up my hat and freed me. Thank you.
Don't interfere.
Ryan turned toward the crocodile, unsure if he was referring to the bear.
Okay, everyone, I'm going to end the part here, so I do hope that you all have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys around.